channels on the tube right now. So shout out Curse, cause subscribe to them niggas. You know the vibes. Yeah, boy. And today we got the deadliest virus on Earth. You know what I'm saying, let's see what's going on. He always giving us a lot of information, a lot of colorful stuff, so I can keep my short-term memory, focused.
In the 1970s, thousands of chicken heads rained from the sky in Europe.
Cap. Put the cap on. Hold on, let me take the hat off and start like that. Hold on.
In the 1970s, thousands of chicken heads rained from the sky in Europe, making foxes and other wildlife confused and very happy. Why? They were filled with a vaccine to fight the deadliest virus known to humanity. Since the 1930s,
they filled the. See, look, I don't know this.
Have been sweeping across wildlife populations.
Why didn't they teach me this in school?
Since the 1930s, a rabies epidemic had been sweeping across wildlife populations in Europe, and humans wanted to finally get rid of the virus once and for all. Rabies is named after Lissa, the ancient Greek spirit of mad rage, and has been haunting us for at least 4,000 years. It can turn animals into angry beasts and humans into zombies that fear water. But what makes Lissa fascinating is not just how bizarre and deadly its infection is, but also how incredibly good it is at avoiding our defenses.
What you mean? What you mean, Kakasakask? Rabies is crazy. Rabies is still around. I didn't know rabies is really around for that long, but rabies is still out here. Like, rabies is outside right now. Like, niggas got rabies. Like, I just watched a YouTube clip of this fox that had rabies that attacked this little old white lady. Poor little white lady, she couldn't do nothing. That fox was on her ass. Hope it's 30 seconds in. Alright, 30 seconds ain't good.
Viruses exist on the edge between life and death, hardly more than a few genetic instructions that need living cells to multiply. The Lissa virus is simple even for a virus. It has only 5 genes, that is, the instructions for 5 proteins that let it solve complex problems. Infect a mammal, avoid its immune system, travel to its brain, make more of itself, and infect new hosts.
Oh, see, and that's the life of a virus. They infect, avoid, travel to the brain, multiply, then to get more. And don't y'all come in here shitting on viruses, bro. They just like us. They gotta function. They want to do what they gotta do. That's their programming. They want to make more of them. We want to make more of us. Don't start hating viruses, bro. I don't want no virus slander.
Get infected.
Now you can slander some viruses. The ones you can't cure, slander those.
If you get infected. It all starts with a bite, most likely by a dog carrying millions of viruses in its saliva, pushing them deep into the tissue. The goal is your nerve cells, your neurons.
So you can start tweaking.
They are living electrochemical wires transferring signals throughout your body and can stretch for up to 1.5 meters with their cellular machinery on one end and a terminal on the other. The terminal is where cells talk to each other by passing chemicals that convey information. Lissa probably binds to the receptors that are crucial for this process and slips inside
shit like a flashlight.
Nerve cells. Inside, the virus has to solve a big problem. It needs to get to the cellular machinery to take over the cell and make more viruses, and because neurons are pretty long, this can be far away. There is a solution at hand, though.
What's the solution?
Cells have microtubules spanning their insides that give them structural integrity.
Okay.
But they also provide a track system for a specialized delivery system.
So basically, viruses want to come in. They want to come in. They want to mate. That's it. We're gonna break this down in simple terms for you niggas. The virus want to come in you and want to make more of itself. That's it. So you gotta stop the virus before it spreads. I know y'all heard that saying before.
Dynein motors are actual motors that use energy and deliver packages.
Dynein motors.
They're made from 50 different proteins, 10 times more than the virus, and look like a little pair of shoes. Lissa uses one of its 5 proteins to hijack this amazing system and order it to head for the nucleus. What's the immune system doing to prevent all of that?
Yeah, immune system?
Well, unfortunately, not much. Usually when a virus attacks, your civilian cells are crucial in activating your immune response. They notice that they've been infected and release hundreds of thousands of a special family of proteins, the interferons that, well,
our body is so amazing.
Viruses. We'll have to simplify a lot, but in a nutshell, interferons alert your immune system to make antivirus weapons. But they do much more. They tell civilian cells to turn down their protein factories for a while which means that viruses can't
Can't spread
replicate efficiently anymore. And interferons
wow.
tell
So your body tells your body, yo, stop making more protein so we can't spread this, bro. And yo, it's an invader alert. It's like Osmosis Jones. I know y'all seen that movie.
transparent, which is important because how can your immune cells notice that your civilian cells are infected when viruses hide inside them? Your body solves this by creating display windows into their insides called MHC class 1 molecules.
MHC class
Cells
1 molecule.
constantly produce stuff to stay alive, and to showcase to your immune cells what's going on inside them, they take random samples of their products and put them into these tiny display windows to give a peek inside. Interferons tell your cells to make way more display windows and become super transparent. If a cell is infected and forced to make virus parts, your immune cells will see these parts in a window and order the infected cell to kill itself, and all the viruses trapped within.
They deleting themselves?
This is one of the most powerful methods of wiping out a viral infection. Unfortunately, Lissa blocks your neurons from making interferons and stays basically invisible to your immune system.
It's fucking virus.
In contrast to many other viruses, when it replicates, it doesn't kill its host, which would also trigger alarm systems. Instead, it stealthily jumps from neuron to neuron, very slowly.
It's like a
making its
whore.
way to your brain.
Just jumping from neuron to
This
neuron
can
like a
take weeks to
whore.
months, and very rarely even years, and depends on a bunch of things, like if the bite was in your face or foot, or how many viruses got into your muscles. Lissa is a patient monster until it reaches its goal,
Fucking
your
Lissa.
brainstem. Finally, the immune system catches on that something isn't right and reacts. It dispatches some of your most powerful antivirus cells, killer T cells.
Shout out those killer T cells, you heard?
Infected cells and wipe out the enemy. In other viral
Gang
infections,
shit.
this would be a turning point, but in rabies, the T cells are rushing towards their doom. Simple Lissa, with its 5 proteins, plays a reverse card, using the immune system's ingenuity against itself.
Wow, so it's
Your
tricking
central
us.
nervous system is a very fragile part of your body, and so the immune
Not my
system
body.
has to be very careful. A few haywire immune cells in your brain is a quick way to die. So they aren't free to enter your nervous system, they have to be invited in and can be kicked out. To protect themselves, your nerve cells can order T cells to self-destruct if they think they're overreacting. And Lissa figured out a way to make infected neurons express this order. So as your powerful defense cells arrive, they are ordered to commit suicide. Now the virus infiltrates the brainstem. Once this stage is reached, you are going to die.
Wait, bro?
How Lissa kills. One
They
of the most
serious?
irritating things about the Lissa virus is that we still don't know exactly how and why an infected person dies. Our usual idea of viruses causing damage is by multiplying rapidly, killing their host cells once they've made enough copies, triggering a massive immune reaction.
Wait, is
that
this still
also causes
rabies?
a lot of damage.
Is they still talking about rabies? They talking about some Lissa. Who Lissa? I only smashed one girl named Lissa. She was pretty. She had nice long
Seems to be
pigtails.
what happens here. Brain tissue of rabies patients shows minimal, sometimes non-existent damage. Instead of murdering everything in sight, it's currently thought that Lissa wreaks havoc by messing up the neuron communication inside your brain, so much so that it can't function anymore. This leads to symptoms like confusion, aggression, and paralysis. Now the virus begins to leave. Still traveling through neurons, it migrates away from the brain and heads for the salivary glands. This is remarkable because after traveling in one direction, the virus reverses its course.
This fucking virus
After
is
decades of
smart as a
study, we don't know how
motherfucker,
this
man.
works. Lissa ends up saturating your saliva, ready for the irate mammal to bite another and repeat the cycle. While this seems like the beginning of a zombie outbreak, luckily there are no known cases of a human biting another and spreading rabies this way. Now,
Oh, Lissa is rabies.
you are rapidly developing encephalitis.
Encephalitis.
Swelling of the brain with many unpleasant neurological symptoms from lethargy to paralysis. Slowly at first, and then suddenly, organ after organ fails as you slip into a coma. There is
Ew.
no known effective therapy. Barely anyone has ever survived Lissa once symptoms begin to show. It is by far the deadliest virus we know.
Jesus.
Except there is actually something that could save you, a vaccine. Rabies was one of the first diseases humans developed a vaccine for.
Good job,
As
us.
vaccines do, it prepares your immune system for a future attack, so it has the right weapons ready in high numbers. The horrific tricks of simple Lissa don't work once you are vaccinated. And the vaccine is special for another reason. Because Lissa is so slow in the first few weeks, it can be given to you after you've been exposed. So you
Yes.
can still be vaccinated.
Because I was scared. Oh my God. I got to be scared of rabies. Y'all out here worried about the Rona. Rabies is out here savaging.
An animal, which is super important if you've had contact with a sick wild animal, say a bat, because you often don't even notice a bite from tiny teeth. Rabies is a monster, one that has followed our species around for thousands of
you,
years,
rabies.
that our ancestors were terrified of, and rightly so. It still kills around 60,000 people each year, almost half of them children.
Damn, poor
We are
babies.
far from eradicating this monster. It lurks in the shadows, in forests and animals of all kinds, ready to return in greater numbers if we ever forget how to keep it at bay, or if we continue the trend of being suspicious of vaccines.
I didn't even know rabies
Let's
was
hope
that big of a
one day
thing, bro.
humanity slays this monster, so it can become, like most monsters, part of our imagination. There are much deeper levels of knowledge to explore about rabies than the glimpse we just showed you. But digging into sources and scientific information on your own can be intimidating. So we've partnered with our friend some of the concepts we
Trying to sell me something. They always try to sell you something. Just welcome to America. That was tough though. I truly didn't know rabies was still out here wilding like that. I heard about rabies once. I heard about rabies like a couple weeks ago, but I haven't heard about rabies before that in probably years. Like, they must not make it such big of a story or anything when it happens. But hey, man, to each his own, man. I guess rabies is it's like a vampire apocalypse waiting to happen. Is that a good assumption to make? Put that in the comments below. But in the comments below also, y'all want me to get into other topics, man. Like, I'm just going through these Syndicate videos, but we interested in everything: finance, macro, micro, philosophy. We get into it, bro. Like, I'm not one directional, bro. See what I'm saying? So yeah, put that in the comments below what y'all want me to get into, man.